Now we are entering into the compounds of hydrogen. Compounds of hydrogen. In our syllabus, the compounds are water and heavy water, and lastly hydrogen peroxide. Now I am trying to explain about water. See here. Water. Its formula is H2O. Water, its formula is H1. In our nature, the purest form of water, the purest form of water is rainwater, boys. Rainwater is the purest form. So, impure form of water is seawater. Seawater, number of salts are mixed there, complete impure water. Okay, so purest form of water is acid rain. Sorry, not acid rain, boys. Normal rain. Rainwater is the purest form, and seawater is impure form. In our air, almost 3/4 of surface is occupied with this water. Okay, now, so water at room temperature exists in liquid state. So associated liquid any because of intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Already I completed at the time of hydrogen bonding. So water exists as a liquid because of intermolecular hydrogen. The solid form of water is ice. So the crystalline form of water is ice. It is crystalline form, boys. So in ice, see here, density of ice is less than that of density of water, liquid water. Density of ice is less than that of liquid density of water. That is why ice floats on water. Why, sir? Why density of ice is less than water? See here, this is the structure of that water. So let us take, this is water molecule, boys. I am trying to draw ice structure. This is water molecule. This is water molecule. This is also water molecule. This is water molecule. Okay. This is water molecules, boys. So all these are covalent bonds. These are all covalent bonds. Now, this central water is surrounded with 4 other water molecules. This water molecule is surrounded with 4 other water molecules. So tetrahedrally, 4 other water molecules are surrounded. Okay. Now, between these water molecules, there exists intermolecular hydrogen bonding, boys. So between this one also intermolecular hydrogen bonding. Between this one also. So that means one oxygen has total 4 bonds. Among them, 2 are covalent bonds, 2 are hydrogen bonds. So every oxygen has 4 bonds. 4 bonds. So among them, 2 covalent bonds and 2 hydrogen bonds. Now this water molecule is surrounded with 4 other water molecules tetrahedrally. This is the tetrahedral structure. So see here, it seems to be tetrahedral. It seems to be tetrahedral. See here, I am drawing. It is a tetrahedral structure, boys. That means in water, in ice, this is the structure of ice, boys. In ice, so water molecule is covered with 4 other water molecules tetrahedrally. So each oxygen covered with 2 hydrogen bonds and 2 covalent bonds. Because of this, a lot of empty space inside it is available. That means more is the volume, less is the mass. More is the volume, less is the mass. Because of that, density is low. So because of this, the density is low. Therefore, density of ice is less than that of density of water. Density of ice is less than that of density of water. Next, H2O, water is a polar solvent. H2O, water is a polar solvent. Okay, so most of the solvents, most of the chemicals are soluble in water. Most of the chemicals are soluble in water. That is why water is considered as universal solvent. Water is considered as universal solvent. Okay, So that is why. So water is very, very important. Next, without water, our life is not there. We require water and drinking water. Okay. See here. Now how to prepare this water? What are the properties of this water? See here. I will explain. Now, preparation of water. Preparation of water. That is liquid water, boys. See here. So that is reaction of salt with water and that is acid plus base combination gives salt and water. Acid plus base combination gives salt and water. It is one of the preparation methods. Now, second one, that is when oxide, non-metal oxides, this one reacts with acids, H2SO4, that gives, that is CaSO4 plus H2O. CaSO4 plus H2O, that is the preparation of water. And also, when hydrogen combined with oxygen, that also gives H2O, but it is a very slow reaction. Very slow reaction, boys. This is the way water molecules are prepared. Now, what are the properties of this water? Properties of water. Properties. So, water involved in self-ionization. It is very, very important, boys. Self-ionization, which is also called as autoprotolysis. Autoprotolysis or self-ionization, very, very important. That is, water molecule is there. This water molecule combined with another water molecule. So that is in equilibrium with this one transfers a proton to that one. That means first one converts into OH minus 1. That is H3O plus ion. That means this is the molecule which donates proton, acts as acid. This is the water molecule which acts as proton. That's why it is acts as base. That means water acts as base as well as acid. Therefore, this water has both acidic nature and basic nature. That's why it is amphoteric nature. Amphoteric nature. As per Bronsted-Lowry theory, as per Bronsted-Lowry acid-base theory, water is amphoteric. Water is amphoteric. Itself, water is going to be protonated in it. That means it transfers proton from one water molecule to another water molecule. This itself donation of proton is called as autoprotolysis. Itself is called as autoprotolysis. Okay. So now Kw, dissociation constant of water is, that is H plus concentration into OH minus concentration, which is nothing but H3O plus ion concentration into OH minus concentration, right? It is Kw. Its value is directly proportional to temperature. As temperature increases, Kw, that is the dissociation of that water also increases. Dissociation. So at 25 degrees centigrade, that is Kw is equal to 1.0 into 10 power minus 14 moles square per liter square. So Kw is equal to 1.4 into 1.0 into 10 power minus 14 moles square per liter square. All those were completed at the time of ionic equilibrium, boys. Now, some other properties of this water. Some other properties of this water. That is, water reacts with metals and metal oxides, non-metals and non-metal oxides. So see here, when water reacts with metals and reacts with metals, that is, so for example, sodium reacts with water, that gives NaOH plus H2, hydrogen gas is liberated. So any active metal reacts with water, liberates hydrogen gas. That gives a base, alkali and water soluble bases. Next, for example, magnesium reacts with water. That one also gives magnesium hydroxide and also liberates hydrogen. That means when metals reacts with water, liberates hydrogen gas. Now, metal oxides. Metal oxides. That is, I'm taking Na2 it is metal oxide wise. So this metal oxide, when dissolved in water and reacts with water, that gives 2 moles NaOH. So only alkali is formed. Because of this reaction, our metal oxides are basic in nature, soluble in water. Now, just like that, calcium oxide, when it reacts with water, that gives 2, that is CaOH twice. calcium hydroxide. It is also base. That means when metal oxides reacts with water, give respect to bases. When metals reacts with water, gives respect to bases along with liberation of hydrogen gas. Along with liberation of hydrogen gas. So this is reaction with metals and metal oxides. Now reaction with non-metals and non-metal oxides. This is with the non-metals, boys. Very, very important. With the non-metals, that is, let us take halogens are our non-metals. Fluorine, it is very, very important reaction. When fluorine reacts with water, that gives HF plus O2. So HF plus O2, that means oxygen gas is liberated, boys. Not only that, it is 2H2O gives that reaction. And same fluorine reacts with 3H2O, that gives HF. It is that is 2HF, 2F2, 2H2O, 4HF, 3F2, 3H2O gives 6HF plus O3. That means when fluorine reacts with water, that gives both oxygen gas and ozone gas are liberated. Both are liberated. This mixture, the mixture of O2 gas and O3 gas, both these gases are called as ozonized gas, ozonized oxygen. So it is called as ozonized oxygen. When fluorine reacts with water, gives ozonized oxygen. There more percentage of oxygen and less percentage of ozone. Less percentage of ozone. Very, very important reaction, boys. Next, when chlorine reacts with water, which is called as chlorine water, this gives HCl and HOCl, hydrochloric acid and hypochlorous acid. This is unstable, boys. Once again, it is dissociated into HCl and O1. So this is nascent oxygen, just like your nascent hydrogen. This is responsible for oxidizing action of this chlorine water. Therefore, chlorine water is the good oxidizing agent. Good oxidizing agent. So see here, when chlorine reacts with H2O, that gives HCl and HOCl. HCl and HOCl. Similarly, when bromine reacts with water, which is called as bromine water, so same HBr plus HOBr are the products. So this is the reaction of fluorine, chlorine, and bromine with water, and these are non-metals. Non-metals. So when nitrogen reacts, so no water and no reaction. So okay. So these are the reactivity of halogens with water. So the reactivity of these halogens with water from top to bottom decreases. Now non-metal oxides, guys. Non-metal oxides. Reaction with non-metal oxides. What about these non-metal oxides? That is our non-metal. So let us take chlorine, non-metal Cl2O7. When reacts with water, gives HClO4. That is perchloric acid. When metal oxides reacts with water, gives bases, and non-metal oxides reacts with water, gives acids. It is perchloric acid. Now N2O5, non-metal oxide, when reacts with water, gives HNO3N. It is nitric acid. SO2 reacts with water, non-metal oxide, gives H2SO3N, sulfurous acid. If SO3 reacts with water, that gives H2SO4. All these are acids, boys. All these are acids. All these are non-metal oxides. When non-metal oxides reacts with water, gives respect to acids. Respect to acids. So when metal oxides gives respect to bases, non-metal oxides gives respect to acids. So that is why metal oxides are acidic in nature and non-metal oxides are basic in nature. So this is the reactivity of our non-metal oxides and towards our water. Now, and very, very important, reaction with the salts. And reaction with the salts. Please don't confuse, boys. I will explain the concept. Very, very important. That is reaction with water. Reaction with the salts. Reaction with the salts. What is the reaction with salt? See here. That is our salt. Let us take that is CuSO4. This CuSO4 reacts with 5 moles water, that gives CuSO4 5H2O. It is a compound, boys. Similarly, when AlCl3, aluminum chloride, it is also salted. It is salt. It is salted. This one reacts with water, that gives AlOH thrice plus HCl. AlOH thrice plus HCl. So this is the reaction, boys. Now, is there any difference between these two? Is there any difference between these two? See, boys, it is the salt. Here I added water. This water is just attached. No reaction takes place between CuSO4 and water. It is just physical change. Anhydrous salt converts into hydrated salt. It is physical interaction. Here physical interaction takes place. It is anhydrous, boys. It is hydrated. This is hydrated. That means there is a physical interaction between water and some of the salts. But here reaction, that means AlCl3 is going to be break. That means Al with water, OH, and hydrogen with chlorine. This is the reaction. Here bond breaking, cleavage is available. Cleavage is available. That means there is a reaction between this AlCl3 and H2O. That means new compounds are formed. It is called as chemical reaction. Chemical reaction. It is chemical reaction. It is a physical interaction. This physical interaction, the concept is called as hydration. That means physical interaction of salt with water is called as hydration. Chemical reaction of salt with water is called as hydrolysis. There is a difference between hydration and hydrolysis. Hydrolysis is nothing but a chemical reaction. Hydration is nothing but a physical interaction. Just no reaction takes place. No reaction takes place. So here, olysis, wherever olysis is there, the compound is break. Hydro means water and so by using water, olysis takes place. By using water, this chemical is going to be break, which is called as hydrolysis. It means hydrolysis and very, very important. Okay. So it is very, very important. So hydration means only physical interaction. Hydration means physical. That means the chemical is hydrated. Means water molecules is added. The solid, the salt, the chemical is reacted with water. That is called as hydrolysis. So that means, so physical interaction of salts with water is called as hydration. Chemical reaction of salt with water is called as hydrolysis. So there is a lot of difference between this hydration and hydrolysis. Hydration is a physical change. Hydrolysis is a chemical change. Hydrolysis is a chemical change. Very, very important. Now, some of the examples. That is, so that is aluminum, Al4C3, aluminum carbide. When this aluminum carbide reacts with water, that gives AlOH thrice plus methane. Guys, is this hydrolysis reaction or hydration reaction? Tell me. Is this hydrolysis reaction or hydration reaction? Is this hydrolysis reaction or hydration reaction? Yes. So compound is going to be break. Hydrolysis reaction. Next. So it is aluminum carbide. Aluminum carbide. Now Be2C, beryllium carbide. When beryllium carbide reacts with water, that gives BeOH twice plus methane. So BeOH twice plus methane. So this is methane gas. This is methane gas. So this is beryllium carbide. Beryllium carbide. So that means aluminum carbide or beryllium carbide when reacts with water, that gives a corresponding base, that is methane. Methane is the productant. That is why these two carbides, whatever it may be, when reacts with water gives methane. That is why these carbides are called as methanides. Methane forming carbides. Methane forming carbides, that's why those are called as methanides. For example, if calcium carbide, CaC2, calcium carbide. Calcium carbide, its structure is calcium C triple bond C like this. So it is calcium carbide, boys. When this calcium carbide reacts with water, that gives calcium hydroxide and C2H2. What is this C2H2? Which is acetylene. Acetylene. So C2H2, which is called as acetylene. So that is why this calcium carbide is called as acetylide. Very, very, very important. Which of the following is methanide? Which of the following is acetylide? So which is also called as ethane, no doubt. Which is also called as ethane. But the common name is acetylene. So acetylene forming carbide is called as acetylide. Methane forming carbides are called as methanides. Methane forming carbides are called as methanides. Okay. So these are some properties. These are some properties of water. So now types of water. Now types of water. So industrially, water is two types. That is hard water and soft water. Hard water and soft water. Tomorrow we will take about that hard water and soft